So moving on here, I want to see your opinion on there's four prep school outfield bats that all seem to be at the top of the draft. They seem to be the four best guys. They might even be the four best high school players in this draft, depending on who you listen to. That's Zach Veen, Robert Hassel, Pete Crow Armstrong, and Austin Hendrick. Obviously, the signability plays into where these guys, how organizations view them a little bit. Hassel, I know, is committed to Vanderbilt, right?
Hmm. I
So,
believe so.
that's always intriguing. Talk a little bit about where you see these guys, comp them up a little bit and rank them.
So I have always been very high on Hendrick. He's the number one player in the class a couple of years ago. But I do agree. These are the four guys for me. Top four. Ed Howard, he's kind of just a high floor guy, shortstop. I think when it comes down to it, these are the best four prep bats in the class, and they all kind of fit the same mold. And it's hard to be a right-handed hitter and get drafted in the first round, and this year's no different. I mean, all four
Right.
of them are lefties, and they all have projectability. But the reason why Austin Hendrick stands out is, and I make this, there's two guys in this draft that have this same similar profile that in recent history have not panned out well, and it's Heston Kjerstad and Austin Hendrick. They're power bats with swing and miss concerns who, in recent memory, those guys don't pan out. They're few and far between.
Right.
It's the guys that develop power. Like Cody, people forget Cody Bellinger was a massive hit over power guy. Like at the
Mm-hmm.
time, it was like raw power plus, but current in-game power. He was a ground ball guy. So a lot of guys are hit first, then develop power. But what I think is interesting, what would be interesting to see is in new age baseball, if these coaches, I feel like so many swing and miss guys and power first guys struggle because they're trying to mechanically coach swing and miss out of them. Now, they both have funky swings. They both have hitches in their swing. And I know I'm going into Kjerstad and Hendrick, but they both fit the same mold. And the other three are in the complete opposite of hit over power. But they both fit that same, and they kind of get coached out of that hitch. They don't let them be natural. They want them to fix their,
Right.
natural loft that comes with it. So it'd be interesting if they're put in the right situation to develop and just say, hey, man, if you swing and miss a lot, just grit your teeth, man. Just go out and play baseball, do your thing, hit for pop, use your bat speed, and do it. I think they both develop into, and I think Hendricks actually had the third best hit tool by scouting directors in the class from prep bats. So the hit tool's better than people think in
Right.
Hendricks. I think he's long with his swing, so he plays in Pittsburgh, and no offense, Pittsburgh baseball, he doesn't see 95 until
Right.
June when he goes in the showcase circuit. So he's not lucky enough to face the high velo. So it's sometime an adjustment. So he's long with his swing, takes some time to get his timing down, but the bat speed's legit, and it's the best in the class by a lot. And the power's legit, and he won a home run derby at Wrigley and made it look like a little league field. He's got legit power that's going to play in the MLB. And, I think he's very similar high school profile to Joey Gallo with little, not body wise, but just power over hit guy. But what the Rangers did so well is they let Joey Gallo be Joey Gallo. They let him swing and miss, and the hit tool came. And I think that's a thing that can happen is you can develop hit tool. It might not come right away, and it might come with a lot of ups and downs, and there still might be streakiness in the game at the big league level. But if you let guys be themselves and let them be comfortable with who they are and not try to coach the swing and miss out of them, kind of train the swing and miss, do some vision training, whatever you want to do, we go into that. But if you kind of develop them as who they are, I think that hit tool can develop over time. And as for the other three, Zach Fien's the top. And I think the reason he's the top is because he's so just everything he does is so good.
Right.
And he has enough power that even if he doesn't develop power, it's still 20 to 25 power. And I think he's very similar to Riley Green, who so many people fell in love with last
Oh
year,
yeah.
where it's the hit tool is going to dominate. And if he shows more power than you thought, it's going to be a home run pick for a team. So he's big though, and that's what people dream on with Zach Veen. I think that's why he's top. He's 6'4", 190, so he's got room to fill out. And Austin Hendricks still has some room to fill out too. But overall, he's just got the perfect athleticism. I think he moves to a corner, but he's got enough arm to play there and at right field. I think the power bat develops. I could see 270 with 25 to 30 out of Veen. And I really like that at that pick. And it's, he's a high floor because even if he doesn't develop power, you think he's still got 20 in the tank, and the hit tool's legit. But for Robert Hassel, it's kind of the complete opposite. He's way hit over power. There's not much power. There's people that don't believe he's going to develop power. I thought similar to Adam Eaton, 12 to 15 homers, could creep up to 300, but probably closer to 290. But Robert Hassel's actually a legit prospect on the mound, and he's 93 off the mound from the left side. So he's got the arm to play right field, which Adam Eaton also has a great arm, great accurate arm. So I like that comp a lot, but that's just not what I would want in the first round. I mean, Adam Eaton wasn't anything close to a first round, and the body profiles don't match, but I think the production is what a lot of people see in Hassel, but the swing's pretty. And he struggled more. He made a conscious effort last summer to add power and add loft to his swing, and he actually struggled more. So it's going to be one of those situations where teams just might not want to touch him. But people don't understand that you can add power just by factoring in elite bat-to-ball skills, barrel awareness, and bat speed. You don't need to drop the back shoulder to add power. If he just becomes double power and lets the bat spin carry into the gap, he's going to be successful more times than not. And that's going to be interesting to see because I believe barrel awareness and elite bat-to-ball skills can translate to power, and you don't really have to mechanically adjust much. Once Robert Hassel starts to fill out that body a little bit more, he starts to do different things. Those doubles do carry into homers. And Pete Crow Armstrong, he's a guy, I know I said it to you, I think there's a good chance he ends up on campus. I don't have that from any information. He just screams a guy that might fall into the compensation round. He might want $2 million. He reminds me very similar to JJ Bleday, Andrew Benintendi, guys that go to college, the power shows up, and they go early first round. And he has the talent. He's an elite athlete. He can play up the middle. And I believe most of these guys could play up the middle. They have the athletic, but I think Pete Crow Armstrong has the most likely chance to stick up the middle. I believe he's the best defender in the class. But he just screams guy to me that could use strength and conditioning at the college level, could use the development at the college level. He's kind of in that mid-range where because he's at 20, 25, teams could go high floor pitcher. They don't want to mess with the signability. He could be going to Vanderbilt. And I like the JJ Bleday opportunity to develop power over those 2-3 years, add it every year, get better every year, and then just go in top 5 overall because he's got the talent to. And he was the number 1 outfielder in the class coming into this year. Or maybe going into the summer circuit of last year. And Veen kind of came out of nowhere, blew up. Hendrick had the swing and miss concern, and Pete Crow Armstrong struggled. So that's when the rankings kind of fell where they did. But Pete Crow Armstrong, it wouldn't surprise me one bit if he became the best player out of all of them.
Yeah.
Not one bit. And he's got the athleticism to stick up the middle. He has legit speed. His hit tool is legit. And there's enough power in there to dream on 30 homer power. But I think he would benefit more from college baseball than the other 3, personally.
Thank you for checking out the Backside Groundballs Baseball Podcast on YouTube. If you want to listen to full episodes of the show, it is available on every podcast app. If you enjoyed this segment, feel free to subscribe to the podcast as well as here on YouTube. Be sure to help us in spreading the podcast to baseball fans everywhere by rating, reviewing, and most importantly, sharing. If you ever want to reach out with a question or just to talk baseball, feel free to follow us both on Twitter. Our inboxes are always open. Links are in the description.